Good morning. Well, the alarm went at 4 to 5 and I just listened to the rain and thought, I'm not getting out. And it was supposed to stop raining at 8 o'clock and it's about 8:45 now and it's hammering it down. Very moody, I think, is the word to describe it. Welcome to St Abbs. Now, if the rain was coming in from behind me, I'd get the camera out and grab some images. But it's coming in from in front of me. So the slightest attempt at using filters or even using the camera is just going to end in complete disaster. In fact, I'm going to have to put you away because the phone's getting soaked and I'm getting soaked. I'm not sure you'll see it, but all along the top of this rock and out onto this little bit down here, there's rows of seabirds lined up, and it's almost like they're saying you're having a laugh. Not going in the water when it's this rough. This is slightly rough. It's a stonking view from up there though. Definite scope for doing long exposures. I mean, the weather for long exposure minimal work is perfect. Nice and grey and murky and misty. The green in the water is actually quite poppy. You just need the rain to stop. Glorious greens on these rocks, which obviously means the seawater comes in over here. Even the seagulls look a bit fed up. They're kind of taking shelter a bit. Well, it's kind of maybe almost sort of just about stopped raining. Oh God, how good do I look? I've been for a wander, I've had a nosy around, and I came here specifically because I'd seen loads of rocks. You're not really going to get a... There we go. With all this beautiful green and yellow on the top. Now, when the tide was in this morning, would have been perfect time to shoot these. The tide is now well out and the rain stopped, typical. So I've had a good hunt around, and this big rock here is the one that caught my eye. Now, I'm not going to lie, there is going to be some fair Photoshop trickery going on with this. I've set up with the 70-200 lens on. I am at around about 135mm. I have got a 0.6 reverse grad, I believe, and the 10 stop. The reverse grad because the sky, although you'll not really see it there, but that's it, the sky is brighter than the sea. So I've banged that in to try and even the exposure out. Now, I've positioned myself so there is a bit of clearance between this rock, the big one I want to in the image, and this little bit here, because that's going to go, that is. There is just a little bit here, which is encroaching on the image, and a little bit over here. I'll spin you around and show you what I've done. Hold on a sec. Where is it? I would have had a lot more rock here, and a lot more rock here to contend with. Had I been able to get down here when the tide was in, that wouldn't have been an issue. But I think with a little bit of Photoshop trickery pokery, that'll actually work okay. I'm having to... I found a rock to shelter behind, a bit of a cliff face, and I'm having to wipe the filters in between every shot, and I'm sort of standing at the front of the camera, shielding it on either side as best I could, because the rain is still coming down, but it's that very, very fine misty rain. But I quite like that rock. I like the way it's leaning. and I like the colours on the top. So yes, that will work quite nicely, I think. I could venture out on here and put the 17 to 55 on, and that would leave me less jiggery pokery to do. However, this is going to be like a skating rink because the seawater's just been on it. It's covered in kelp as well. So I decided that probably wasn't the best idea. Wow, what a difference 6 or 7 hours make. The sky is now blue, a little bit of a breeze. There is actually some very ominous looking clouds over there, but the sky is breaking quite nicely out to sea. And if you've watched my channel for any length of time, you may remember I was here before. We're at Cockleburn Beach. I'm sure that's not how you pronounce it. And I remember standing somewhere over there going, I can't do this. I can't find anything to shoot. I want to be in Scotland. And I was having a right tantrum. I didn't get seascapes in any shape or form. I didn't really get landscapes back then. It was one of the first Northumberland meets that I'd been on with the guys that I've met through photography. And I really wasn't a happy sausage. It was the same weekend that we got the amazing sunrise at Holy Island, and I got the frost on the boats. Well, I'm back. Oh, and I know you can't see me. There we go. I thought I'd come and have another go because it's got some beautiful ledges of rock reaching out into the sea. We're on an incoming tide. High tide is 7:20 and sunset is about 8:20. So I'm going to try and get some long exposures now on an incoming tide, and then I may stay here to do sunset with the outgoing tide. But I have got another location I might whiz to. I'm not sure yet. It all kind of depends what happens on this bank of cloud. In the distance there, it's still quite thick and heavy, and over there it's thick and heavy, and behind me, I really don't want to know it's thick and heavy. But it's breaking up quite nicely out there. So I'm going to have a go, see if I can do better than I did last time. Now I am shouting slightly because I'm right at the water's edge and there's a little bit of a wind, so I'm hoping that you can hear me okay. Now, as I mentioned, this is an incoming tide, so I am being very cautious, keeping an eye on the tide all around. Sorry, I'm just getting ready to trigger. Just want a big enough wave to come in. That one will do. Big enough that it doesn't swamp me, but big enough that I get the effect that I was after. So I'm out on this ledge, which has got these glorious shapes in it that I showed you just now on the little walk around. The water is also coming in behind me. There's a channel coming up there. And I'm conscious that it has now reached up to about, well, you can see there, but there is a lovely mass of rock that I can use as an escape route if I get too carried away doing what I'm doing. What I've got is this rock leading in from the bottom right hand corner up out into the distance at an angle, and then sky and sea, obviously. 10 stop on, 0.6 soft grad. And believe it or not, I'm getting 10 seconds with a 10 stop, which is ridiculous. I'm half inclined to put the 6 stop on as well and see if I can extend the exposure. But I'm getting, in all these beautiful shapes down here, swirly, misty water, and I'm quite liking the effect. The sky is quite dark and broody, but there is a band of, I'm not sure if I'm even pointing in the right direction, bright blue sky up there, which is kind of coming in at a triangle to complement the triangle I'm creating with the image. I've got the 10 to 20 mil on, and I am at 10 mil. And I'm quite liking that. I just need a slightly bigger wave that doesn't swamp me, but comes further up. And this, no, I keep thinking it's the one and it's not. I was going to try for some short, long exposures, but that kind of went by the board. But I found somewhere. The Nemesis for me, that was Cockloburn Beach, seems to have worked. I seem to have conquered it. Wow, back the blooming truck up, I've taken the 10 stop off. I have, honest. I've been trying to get a little bit of motion in the water, which is quite difficult here because the rocks on this ledge are virtually the same colour as the sand. So I'm trying to get it so that I catch some of the swirling as the waves come in and then recede. Even with my sand feet on, the camera's sinking because the waves are coming in so powerfully, they just drop. And I'm sinking about 3 feet. Right, here we go. We've got some nice waves coming in. There's a bit of froth. It's a very frothy beach, this. That didn't really... Oh, that one kind of did. Yes, right, 10 to 20 mil, around about 15, maybe 16 mil, 1.6 seconds, f13 and ISO 100. I'm going to try and drop that down to 1 second. I'm on the 6 stop and the medium edge grad. The sky is completely bleh, but it is looking... No, I'm not going to say it, I'll just put the kiss of bloody death on it, won't I? This looks like a likely prospect. That's the bit you want. The streaks going there, that's better. Yes, like that. It's just not quite right enough. 1 second isn't quite long enough in terms of how long I need to expose for, but if I expose any longer, that white streakiness will go. So I've now dropped the f-stop down to f11 from f13. This looks like it could be quite a good one. Yeah, kind of quite like that. Right, I could stay here all night, but the tide is... There's still got about an hour and a bit to go. But there's another location I think I want to get to. It's addictive. And I'm having to keep a hand on the camera, or very close to the camera, just in case one of these waves decides it's going to sweep it out. Right, that's it. I'm done.